Good day, everyone. Just popping on here real quick just to give you some today's updates. But first, I want to let you know that the gospel can be found in 1 Corinthians 15, verse 1 to 4, and also read the book of Romans. Great information in there as well. So, as many of us already know, what is coming in from space and that it is causing chaos worldwide. It's creating mega storms, and in California, as of today, January the 12th, there have been reported 14 people that has died because of this storm. It is creating huge flooding, and it is causing what they are calling river bombs, which is the atmosphere gathers a whole lot of water, then it takes it to one area and it just dumps it, and it's creating mass flooding and mudslides and roads washed out and everything like that. So it's creating a lot of chaos down there, and 14 people has been reported dead because of this storm as of today. We know that there is a lot of stuff that's going on in space right now. We know it's creating these mega storms, and apparently there is two more of these mega storms on the radar right now that is coming. Uh, we are experiencing warmer weather, and we're experiencing this globally. I know here in Canada, where we are, normally in January, you got some pretty cold weather. It's actually mild compared to what we normally have. And I know in some places, even in the US, where they have snow and a little bit of colder weather, they say that plant life is budding and things like that, and vegetables. Um, some people has planted vegetables that are starting to grow, so it's very unusual weather that we are getting. And yes, we our atmosphere has always been warming up and things like that, but I mean, I don't fall for this climate change stuff. We know what's happening. This is coming in from space, and that we have actually a planet that has been seen. They are calling it Nibiru, and so on and so forth. NASA has reported some on it, but it is being covered up a lot. It's not much talks about it and things like that, but certain sites is telling about is talking about it and what's coming in, but I mean, the government is not telling us what's actually being seen out there, and we know that in the end days that it's going to get so bad that it says men's hearts will fail them for fear. So it's going to get pretty bad, and it is starting. So I mean, the last thing Satan would want is everybody to run to their Bibles, right, and see what's actually going on. So they're keeping it pretty quiet. It's all being covered up and monitored, but we'll leave that at that. Right now, we are experiencing warmer weather. Plant life is starting to show in some places. Uh, we know what is coming in from space. If any of you keep up with it, I do myself. There's huge waves of energy, and it is changing the atmosphere and is creating mega storms. We have 17 of these waves that is going to hit us this year. We have one on January the 5th. We have another one coming in around the end of the month to early February. So we have 12 months in a year. We have 17 of those waves that is going to come in. So some months there's going to be two or more, and is going to create a lot of chaos out there. It's also been reporting that some temperatures, we know it's biblical as well, that the sun is going to get so hot that men is going to curse God. It tells us in the Bible. We did last year and the year before hit some high temperatures, but this year we'll see if things keeps going like it is, and with all the solar flares and everything like that, all the stuff that's coming off the sun, we may have some scorching weather this summer. So keep an eye on that, guys, and be prepared for things like that. Anyway, all of this waves of energy and everything is coming in. What is more I guess we'll say what is more scary than just a few storms and things like that is the radiation that is in the atmosphere. This is causing planes to not be able to fly. And right now they're saying a lot of planes are being down daily, US, Canada, everywhere. And they're saying, oh, there was glitches in the system. And like some of these experts are saying, each system is separate. So one or two glitches in one or two systems is not going to create every plane to have to be landed and grounded. They say that this radiation right now is in the atmosphere at about 17,000 feet. So the planes was flying at 20, 30,000 and so on. And when the planes were notified to be grounded, the ones yesterday that was already in the air, people went in on the radars and looked, and sure enough, they were brought down below 17,000 feet to finish out their destination. So no, it's not a glitch. A glitch is not going to ground all the planes and bring the rest down 17,000 feet exactly where they say that this radiation is it. And so yeah, it's definitely coming in from space and that, and they don't want to tell the people because it could create chaos and things. I mean, when we look up and see all these things happening, that's going to create more chaos than what it was if many was prepared for it. But again, we know they don't want people running to the Bible and figuring this out and seeing what's going on and bringing people to the Lord, and they want to keep um, everything's so satanic right now. Is absolutely crazy, crazy. It's in everything. You can't even turn on the TV. It's all over the place. So, but we'll leave that for another story. Anyway, over in Iran today, they have now stepped up defense deployment in Syria to curb Israeli strikes. Now we know that Iran plays a huge, big part in the Bible with the wars and that, and they are going to come against Israel. Is going to create huge wars and that over there. So I mean, Iran is getting a lot of equipment and everything lately, and I mean, we wonder where this is coming from, right? Where's Iran getting all the money and getting all the equipment and everything like that? Well, we know that we have all those rogue nations that is supplying and supporting Iran, and that is Russia, China, North Korea, things like that. They're all working together, which will all eventually lead to the war in Israel. These are the big players. That's biblically all the big players that's in there. It tells us in the Bible that there is, I think, is a 200 million man army that's supposed to come. And they're like, there's no nation in this world that could really do it. But right now there is one, and that's China. So in the end days, you're supposed to see this army rise. Well, I mean, it's right there now, waiting for us. So, like, things that had never happened before, and now they're joining forces together, and all these people are big players in the biblical end time wars. So right now, all these people are just lining up. And Iran, of course, is another one, in Syria and things like that. So Iran is saying now that they are going to be placing warships in the Panama Canal. We know that Iran do play this huge part in the in-day war. I mean, we could just read Isaiah 17:1, and we can see the destruction there. Also, we know that Russia is friendly with them, and that's where they are getting most of their weapons and equipment and things like that. They say, I mean, it's that U.S. is involved and things like that, which is not surprising considering all that happened over there in Iraq and all them places in the last few months, and all equipment and stuff that the U.S. equipment that's been left behind. It was all done purposely. We all know that. Anyway, all these rogue nations and that are supplying Iran with all these equipment. Iran has also become friendly with Latin countries recently, and is trying to get closer to the U.S. Now we know the thing between the U.S. and Iran and places like that's been going on for many years, but So many countries is trying to get to the U.S. now is absolutely crazy, but the U.S. is not mentioned apparently in the end days war in the Bible. Well, many wonder why. Many experts has suggested that it's because they are already crippled or destroyed, which would make total sense, right? Because U.S. was always a big supporter of Israel, was called the Eagle, and of course the Eagle is one of the U.S.'s mascots, we'll say, or they're known to be a big part of U.S. as a symbol of them. And it tells us biblically about on the wings of the eagle and things like that in Israel. So apparently in the end days, this eagle is missing or is gone. So it kind of leaves Israel vulnerable. So right now, with all those threats and everything and the border issues that they have down in the U.S., well, it's no surprise that what will happen and what could soon take place. And it could take place sooner than we think. And what is taking place right now is insane, and that many people don't have a clue until we're hit, and it's going to be too late. I mean, they're after the Western world, and yes, that's Canada as well. We're all as one. So Iran has also been getting friendly with Venezuela, Nicaragua, Colombia. And I mean, you just look at it, it gets closer and closer and closer to the US, right? All set up to destroy the Western world. US, Canada, we're all part and parcel. We're all the Western world. So, and many may not even realize Canada is one of the big leaders in all this, what's going on in the world, with all the World Economic Forum and all their planning and everything like that. Many don't realize that, and that our leader is one of Klaus Schwab's lead characters. I mean, it's all about take away the guns, the gun control, the Great Reset, cashless society, depopulation, destruction of the farmland. They want the farmers charged. Now, and Trudeau had mentioned this apparently, with using too much chemicals on their field, and that they would arrest them and things like that. It's all communism and destroy the medical system. And they say you'll own nothing and be happy. We know, but the interest rates for mortgages and everything is being raised. Everything, food costs, everything is getting expensive. They don't want us to own anything anymore. They want the government to own it all. And I guess we'd have to pay like a rent lease to them sort of thing, with this universal income stuff that they're wanting to bring about. And it'll come to the point where we'll own nothing, and you'll have what they call a social credit score. And our normal credit scores right now won't mean anything. Social credit score will be if you don't comply to what the government wants you to do, then that'll affect this score, and then you won't be able to get any credit or anything, maybe simply as a vehicle or anything like that, just because you're not complying with what the government wants you to do. So our rights is being stripped away totally. And I mean, it's getting bad out there. You have people right now worldwide, even here in Canada. It's been absolutely crazy with the medical system, emerge room wait time. You have people right now that are laying on floors and stretchers, waiting hours and days to be seen by a doctor. We have a second incident today where the second person has died in the Nova Scotia hospital, waiting to be seen by a doctor. I seen a video of one young man. He lost his wife on New Year's Eve. She went in with abdominal pain. She was there for like 7 hours. He was pretty much begging them, like, she's in so much pain, she needs help. And they were just kind of, yeah, whatever, and left her alone. And then all of a sudden, she went into, I guess, some sort of cardiac arrest thing, because whatever went on with her body and that, and they had to do CPR on her and everything. They brought her back for a bit, but there was only 1% chance of survival, and she did pass away. So he did a video on that. You can find that out there. It's about a 30-minute video where he tells what went on. and the whole process from the time they went in to the time they left, and it was absolutely horrible. And apparently now today there's another lady in Nova Scotia, I think it's Cape Breton area, that has passed for not being seen by a doctor and been there waiting for hours and that as well. I also had an article sent to me from Newfoundland where this gentleman was telling his story about how he has heart issues and diabetes and so on like that. It was really a bad situation, and he was just kind of just left, not taken care of. He needed insulin, and his wife had to travel all the way back home to get him food to eat and insulin and everything to um, time over till he could get to see the doctor. And they said there were people there for days and stretchers and always. And I seen another article, they were laying on the floors. And I mean, I grew up in Newfoundland. I lived here for 33 years. I had never seen anything like this. I had never witnessed anything like this. If you went in and you had a medical condition like that, you were taken in right away. But now it seems like no compassion. And I'm not saying there's no compassion from the doctors and nurses. It's the staff shortage. We know what happened there. A lot of people left, a lot of people quit and things like that. There's staff shortages. Their doctors and nurses are being limited with a lot of stuff that they can and can't do anymore. I witnessed this last night with an appointment I had with my doctor yesterday. And yeah, it wasn't so great there. And even medications, you can't even get simple medications. There's an issue with that as well. I went in to request the medication that I would normally have for certain things, only to be given something that I really didn't even need. And when I got to the pharmacist, she was like, "I'm not sure if you need this for what your issue, whatever." And I'm like, "Absolutely not." Didn't even have nothing to do with it. But what I really would normally get, it was harder for me to get. So I know there's issues with the healthcare system right here, even locally where I am. I also had another incident back about 4 months ago where I waited in the emerge room for 7 hours, and I had some bowel issues. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I've been diagnosed since that. But I spent there 7 hours in pain, and people would come and go, see the doctor and come and go. And I'm like, they're there playing on their phones. They seem fine. I'm here in crazy pain. Why am I not seeing the doctor? And I mentioned to a nurse, and I kind of got a not so nice of an answer, but I know a lot of times their hands are tied too. So I was pretty much told in to sit down, shut up, and wait, right? But because I asked the question. So I know they're frustrated. I know there's things going on that should not be going on. And yeah, it has collapsed. The healthcare system has definitely collapsed, and it's getting worse. So, guys, all I'm saying, if you have any surgery out there right now that's scheduled, don't delay. Please go get it done. My husband has a plate in his arm that needs to come out because they don't want to leave it in there for over a year, where he fell off the roof about a year ago. And he had to have surgery, and then they wanted to take that plate out of his arm because his tendons could rupture if left there for a long time. So they usually give it for about a year. So his surgery has gotten put off once, where it was in December, but is scheduled again for later this month. And where it was really a busy time for him at work, and that he was considering maybe putting it off till March or so. But right now, seeing what has taken place, we've decided that no, he need to get this done now, because he may not get it done if things keep, and it will get worse, obviously. So if surgery appointments and things like that gets delayed or popped back or canceled altogether, then I mean, he might end up with ruptured tendons and muscles and things in his arm. Then we'll leave him out of work anyway. So we've decided that it's better if he get it done while we can. So, guys, yeah, I suggest if you have any of those appointments or anything, please don't put them off. Take it seriously, get it done, because things are getting worse out there. So don't delay. Anyway, guys, everything is ramping up right now very quickly. So, guys, be prepared for things like your medical supplies, food, have some extra stuff on hand, power outage supplies, water, gas, an alternative way to cook, and so on. Not only because of wars and things that's happening, we see medical systems and things like that here on Earth, but because of all the incoming debris, all these storms, these waves of energy, solar flares, and all that's coming in from space, things like that we cannot control. We cannot control any of that here on Earth. What happens there happens. I mean, that's completely at any man's hand. So, just in case, guys, get yourself prepared with some of these things. So anyway, I won't keep you long today. I will be back again tomorrow with some updates, or earlier if something pressing comes up. So yeah, guys, please subscribe to this channel and share so we can reach as many people as possible. Many people need to know what's going on in the world, how to prepare for it, and what to expect that the mainstream media is not telling us. And they also need to get the gospel out there. So, and if any of you guys need a Bible, as I said before, email me. The email will be found in the description box below the video here. We'll leave any article links and everything in that as well. So, yeah, guys, just email me. We'll send them out globally. We don't care where you live in the world. At absolutely no cost to you. We'll send you out a free Bible, and just let us know and send us your name, address, and we'll get that to you. So other than that, guys, take care. We'll see you again tomorrow. And stay safe, guys, and God bless. Thanks.